Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not able to be there with you guys today in class, Thursday or Friday. I'm going to be in Tallahassee, so you have me on video instead, doing the rise of Christianity in Rome. For my first, third, and seventh period classes, you have already seen part of this. Actually, I think fourth may have as well. If so, please skip ahead to the part after the Brain Pop Religions clip. Then you'll have new information. So looking at the end of Rome, Rome had a weakened economy, which led to a weakened government. People had less money to buy things, and when businesses have less money, people lose their jobs. So they began to barter instead of using money. They wanted a good or service, so they traded with each other on a small scale. It's called bartering. This created the collapse of the economic system as the entire government had nothing left to give. Pause and write down what's in red. Before we continue, I need you guys to get out your books and answer these 4 questions. Look back at the Israelites. Were they mono or polytheistic? What was their moral code or law code called? What is considered important to the Jewish family? And what 4 groups did the Israelites break into, and what did each group believe? For this, you're going to look at lesson 1, all in chapter 6. This is lesson 3, and this is lesson 4. Should take you about 10 minutes, so go ahead and pause and do this. So Judaism, again, we just looked at the Israelites, which we had done in November. Let's bring that back. In 6 AD, Augustus made Judah a Roman province, calling it Judea. So he took over and he changed its name. Remember that a lot of people disagreed on how to deal with the Romans? The Zealots rebelled and eventually revolted. The Romans, in turn, declared that all Jews were to leave Jerusalem and needed to build elsewhere. Again, write and pause. Now, before I continue, remember, the next part of this, we're going to be talking about religion. I am not telling you to change your religion. I'm not telling you what you believe is wrong. I'm not telling you what I believe. I'm not telling you to sacrifice a goat to Osiris. I'm telling you what people have believed and what people still believe today. I'm going to present the historical parts of this religion. So a few decades before Augustus took over Rome and named it Judea, and before the Jewish revolt, a Jewish man named Jesus grew up in Nazareth. He traveled with 12 followers called disciples. Following the Judaic tradition, he preached that there was one God, which is monotheism, and that people were to follow the 10 Commandments and were to love each other, basically to respect their neighbors. Pause and write. If you were in class, you'd watch the Brain Pop Religions. If you are in 2nd and 6th period, sorry, you'll see it on Monday or Tuesday whenever I see you next. Everybody else, welcome back to Notes. So we're looking again at the rise of Christianity. The beginnings of Christianity. As Jesus preached throughout the land, there were growing tensions between the Jews and the Romans. The Romans asked the Jews to pledge allegiance to the emperor and felt threatened by anyone who had a large following. They also wanted the emperor to be seen as a god. This started with Augustus. And with Judaism and then Christianity, monotheism says there's only one, caused an issue if the emperor was also seen as a god. So during a Passover dinner, a very religious ceremony for those of Jewish faith, that's the plate we made in November or December when we drew the dinner. Jesus was betrayed by one of his followers and given to the Romans. Pause and write. The death of Jesus. He was held on trial for the Romans and seen as a political threat. He was then crucified on the cross, a common punishment for political enemies. According to Christian belief, Jesus then rose from the dead 3 days after his death and appeared before his 12 disciples. Pause and write. Following this, the first Christians broke away from Judaism and started their own churches or met in homes. Early leaders spread the message throughout the empire. And in a few minutes, you'll be doing a geography activity, remember meaning the land and how things are spread out, that looks at the spread of Christianity. Eventually, and it took a while, the Roman rulers converted Christianity and required it in the empire. You know what I'm going to say. Pause and write. Now it's time to reflect, and I will be collecting this. You'll be turning this in. How is Christianity different from other religions we studied so far? I need 3 differences. They can be similarities to Judaism. How, second question, is Christianity similar to religions we've studied so far, looking at Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, the polytheistic religions, and again, Judaism? 3 similarities. Thank you guys. I hope you're having a great day. You have a lot of work for me, and I will see you Monday.